Thank you, Katja. I liked very much all the lectures and all their problematics. I hope to bring some of our problematics in Albania. Albania, as you know, is one of the most isolated countries in the former socialist period. I actually work in Tirana Art Lab. This place is really in the center of Tirana. Is in the middle of some kind of betonization of after the architectonic booming in Albania. Illegal buildings were more and more constructed, and we work there. So this is the backyard of Tirana Art Lab. We have adopted an apartment in that space that functioned as an exhibitions place and as an artist in a residence place. So, my lecture is about proxemic space in Albanian architecture and urbanism. I wanted to start with a sentence of Deleuze and Guattari that says the architecture is the first art. Because I'm doing this kind of study on space in the art, space in art in the largest term. So I started with a physical space. And physical space for me means public space, open space, urban space. And in urban space, we have all the buildings. So architecture is connected with this kind of Deleuzian thought. Tirana, 100 years before, or less, was like this. An Ottoman city had 28,000 people, and now has more than 1 million. This is the old bazaar, and this is the urban context at that period. In 1922, Mussolini got power in Italy, and he has really a lot of interest in Albania because he was projected to the Italian emperor. So the Albania was the first step to his dream, and the Italians has constructed the first urban plan. Our Prime Minister was Ahmet Zogu, and he liked very much Mussolini. And you see this kind of building with what was before has nothing to deal. This is an eclectic style, Italian eclectic style, really rationalist, and the projector was Brazzini, an Italian urbanist. The architect of these buildings that are ministries, that was ministries that still are ministries of Albanian government, has, let's say, some Albanian identities, they called, but were only on the facade, some effigies of this building. And as a constructions, they doesn't have anything to deal with Albanian identities. This is, I don't know if you can see it, but this is how it looks. A journalist at that period that visited Albania noticed that he has never seen a boulevard without a city. So that was Albania. And my study begins in this kind of interpreting the public space, urban space. This is the plan. If you see here, no, you don't see it, but here is the presidency, and here is the foreign minister. This is Mussolini Boulevard. This is Post and Telecommunications, and this is the way of Durrësi Street. Is the main naval port in Albania. So this kind of projection and placing buildings has a semantic significations for the projector. That was Brasini and Florestano di Fausto. So all the ways that connect Albania, so foreign minister and post and telecommunications, pass through Durrësi, which is the naval port, through Italy. So has this kind of meaning. And as I said, it's an eclectic style. And this is before 29 constructed. It began in 25, but 29 was constructed. After the 28, our prime minister was self-proclaimed king of Albania. So he liked very much Mussolini, so he took over. But in 39, Italians has realized their plan, so invaded Albania, and was the first step to the Italian Empire. And they brought their urban plan, another urban plan, which is more rationalist. It's not anymore that eclectic style, but is this kind of rationalism that liked very much. Boulevard, you have to know that boulevard means is an axis, is the famous cardo on ancient Roman plans for the urbanization, is the cardo. So the cardo was this kind of boulevard that goes in the old city of Tirana. And in Mussolini thoughts, and this is, how can I say, what was programmatic, this kind of cardo divided the old world and the new world. So the meaning of this boulevard is the synthesis of Mussolini that connects or conjuncts the new and the old. So the Mussolini's figure is the synthesis of this kind of program and this kind of vision for the future. This is the boulevard, still in this kind of line, and these are the first is the Prime Minister's building now, and the Casa del Fascio, the fascist house, is on the background, and now is the Albanian University of Engineering, I think. This is Bozios. Bozio is the new urban planner that came in that period. So is the most important figure for Albanian urban planning. And these are some of his buildings. This is Hotel Daiti now, is always in this rationalistic style. And this is the end of the boulevard with this pretty rationalist constructions. This is Bank of Albania by Morpurgo, is another famous architect. And this is the presidency. I have to say that when Italia goes out from Albania after the war, all the buildings, all Italian buildings, were occupied by the Enver Hoxha's government. And that axis that divided the old and the new, divided also, and as the Bozios project, some buildings that even in nowadays are called New Tirana, Tirana Ere, and were projected for the Italian officers. And the same buildings were used to create Tirana's block. Block in Tirana is a metonymic name to say is a quarter of Tirana. And the block in Tirana is known as the headquarters of the former government of Enver Hoxha. Were always closed. Even in Albania, everything was public of the state. That was only the only space that were closed to the public. Was open only for the officials and the government. So this kind of style of rationalism became this one that combines some Soviet classicism, but is less, how can I say it, is not so megalomaniac as in Russia. So they have only some details from the Russian classicism, but the rational style, without any figures or detail from Albanian identity, so is Italian style, the second Italian style, no that of Florestano di Fausto, that was eclectic. So that was the mix that the new power of socialist government maintained as its best proclamation. And this is another building, is in the center of Tirana, is the Palace of Culture, is called. Even this is pretty rational. And this is the main square, the center of Tirana. As Italians had projected, this is another view, and here we are in the 80s. You see, the city is not so big, but the Albanian urban planners of that period has completed, let's say, the square with these rational buildings. In the end, with the mosaic, is the historical museum, is Hotel Tirana, the tall one, and the other is the cultures building that completed this square. Here we are in 87, so before the fall of the regime. Here we are in 68, where wasn't not yet Skanderbeg Square, that is national hero, but was the square of our dear Stalin. That was placed with Skanderbeg. So the monumentality goes from the buildings to the sculptures. And here we have Enver Hoxha after death, so in 88, this big sculpture. But in 2 or 3 years, falls down by itself, as you see. And With the fall of Enver Hoxha, everyone thought that the regime was fallen, and these authoritarian figures was placed by democracy or democratic figures, but wasn't true, because everyone occupied the public space. With democracy, every Albanian thought that everything that was public must be private, and illegally they occupied, and this is the center of Tirana. And we have a premier now that is an artist, he said. He makes this building, he has made a lot of changes in Tirana, and this is really true. This guy is the same photo, like this one, and became this one. But this guy is still telling that he's an artist. And everything that he has done, he has turned it in his image of power. And this image of power brings this kind of monumentality. Once more, we are going through monumentality. So, it's the same square, but bigger and higher. And this guy controls, as Bozios, the fascist one, controls all the Albanian constructions and architectonic and urban constructions. This guy has created a society, is in the ministry, without any competitions or call for proposals, that manage everything that will be constructed in Albania this year. And this guy is a socialist one. So I'm not for social art. The art must be antisocial, because the society has this tendency to create peripheric context. And Albania is, or has been always in the peripheric context. And this is the challenge for the artist, to make the peripheric context, to make it central. So it's not social, I think. Thank you.